structure for whether. Whether is commonly used after certain types of verbs. Let's have a look at those verbs right now. We usually use whether after verbs that show uncertainty, thought, discussion, or choice. So have a look at these examples just below. James doesn't know whether it's a good idea to do his driving test again. Now look at the underlined verb, doesn't know. This is showing uncertainty or thought. So he's thinking about whether it's a good idea to do his driving test again. The second example reads, we are debating whether to move house. So debating shows thought or discussion about something. In this case, the couple are debating whether to move house. And the last example, my lawyer is advising me whether to take legal action or settle out of court. The verb advising shows discussion and choice. His choice is to take legal action or settle out of court. All these verbs show a level of uncertainty, thought, discussion, or choice, and can be followed by whether. Here is a selection of other common verbs that are used with whether to show uncertainty, thought, discussion, or choice. The first verb is consider. Have a look at the example. The government is considering whether to accept or refuse the vote. So after consider, we can use whether. The next verb is depend on. It all depends on the boss whether you lose your job or stay. After depend on, you can use whether. The next verb is think about. We are thinking about whether or not to go. The next one is decide, which we saw earlier. When will you decide whether or not to accept the job? And finally, choose. Billy needs to choose whether to study history or science. So with all those verbs which show an element of uncertainty, choice, discussion, or thought, you can use whether after. Now there's one more very common structure that I'd like to show you. Another common pattern with whether is whether plus or not. Whether or not. Have a look at the examples below. I'm unsure whether or not she liked the gift. In this meaning, it's similar to if. We're trying to express I'm unsure if she liked the gift or if she didn't like the gift. And the next example is expressing exactly the same thing, except we've split the pattern. So it goes, I'm unsure whether she liked the gift or not. So we can put or not at the end of the sentence if we wish. That's the structure for whether. Now move on to the things to note lecture before you start the speaking and listening practice exercises.